Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in on today's session. Today, we are here to talk about the stock Zydus Life. The reason I chose the stock for today's discussion is because some very interesting phenomena is unfolding, and I wanted to discuss that with you. So, without any delay, let's move towards the charts and technically, from a technical standpoint, let's assess what is going on. All right, I'm going to share my screen. If you can see my screen, I would really appreciate if you could give me a confirmation in the chat. So you're seeing the weekly time frame of Zydus Life right now, and from a very broad perspective, it's evident that the stock is in underlying bull trend. Let's try to draw some trend lines here. So the first trend line I'm drawing is this, and this gives me a touchdown at these three support levels where the stock went into correction. And then I'm going to clone the same trend line using the control key and kind of try to identify the internal trajectory of the stock. This will help me assess in the past where is the zone over which the stock has been taking repeated supports or resistance within this trajectory, right? So I can see that this over here interacts with multiple points, congestion zones, right? So over here, so historically, it's been proving as a pretty important support slash resistance zone. And what we can see is that price has currently approached this level. Now, so we have one point here that there is trendline potential, trendline support, first evidence. Second, let's take a look at the weekly time frames RSI. Now, remember this RSI that you're looking at is the 25 period RSI. Now, what this 25 period RSI of the weekly time frame is showing is that when the price was creating new highs, the momentum peaked out here. So I'm going to draw a vertical line here. Let's change. Yeah, this is the vertical line. Okay, so this is where the momentum peaked out, but you can see that the price peaked out here, which means price created higher high versus RSI creating a lower high. So that means there was a negative divergence. But one thing about negative divergence that a lot of people don't pay attention to, or even positive divergences, right, which a lot of people don't pay attention to, and this fact that I'm going to share with you has a lot of impact on the quality of the output or the consequence of the negative divergence. So this negative divergence, if you see the rightward tail, is way above the level of 60. So for a bull range, the level that we want to look at is 40 and 70 plus. For a negative divergence to be dangerous or to lead to a proper reversal in price, not just a intermittent correction within bull run, it has to, the right end I see has to end at the level of 60. When it does that, then often notice a proper bearish reversal in prices. Right now, because the rightward tail is way above the level of 60, what I think is that this correction is not a bad trend. So this downward movement is not a bad trend. It's a correction within a larger uptrend, which means that it is fair to expect that rally continuation will happen. Okay. So within this trajectory, the price took resistance near this trend line. Now it is testing the support. When the resistance was tested, RSI showed negative divergence on weekly and declined lower. Let's remove the extra drawings to clean up the chart and let's go back. So I want the vertical line to stay. Okay. So let's now go down one time frame to the daily chart. Okay, so here we are at the daily chart. Now, on the daily chart, also we can see very similar phenomena happening. The negative divergence was forged, right? Negative divergence was forged again, and then correction happened. When the correction happened over here, this is where the RSI has on the 75-minute time frame bottomed, right? Now, RSI bottomed here, but price has since then created a lower low. RSI against that context has created a higher low and is now cruising around the level of 40. So for bull range, we want to see support coming in at 40 and the price breaking above the level of 70, like I just told you. Okay, above 70. So 70 plus. This is the range that we are looking at. So half of the criteria has been fulfilled. There is a daily The daily chart is showing RSI positive divergence. Let's take a close look at the volumes. So I am noticing this trend, this positive trend in the volume against this activity. So the volume is not giving us a positive signal. See, we need to wait for that. Another thing on the daily time frame, what I'm seeing is that the price is still forming lower high, lower low formation. So what I want is, with the a potential investment case building up here, we need to look out for more confirmations, right? It is not prudent to go ahead and buy the stock right now because it is possible that this low, which you would typically use as stop loss, can still get breached and price can go ahead and form another low. So until and unless the price doesn't reverse and create a higher high, we will continue to monitor the stock. So, in order to monitor the stock, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a alert here. Why here? Because this appears to be a pretty important resistance zone of this from the perspective of these EMA levels, which is, by the way, the 250 EMA and the 100 EMA respectively. Okay. So another thing that would be nice is if the RSI of the daily time frame went overbought. So in order to assess how the stock reacts around reversals, it is prudent to study a previous reversal. So, here also, what we are seeing is that there was a positive divergence that got forged way before the price created a bottom, right? With the As the price created a bottom, the RSI showed a positive divergence. And then what happened? This high was breached here. First signal came, right? But then this did not sustain. Price went back to retest the low where the momentum had bottomed out. So this is where the momentum had bottomed out, or rather the bearish momentum peaked out. Okay, it went back to retest that same low level, came back, retested the resistance, came back, retested the support and the trend line again, finally gave a breakout with very good volume. So you see, when this whiplash happened, the volume was still not very convincing, right? Here the volume picked up, but only in the first half of the rally. So this is where the volume picked up more convincingly in the entire uptrend, gave another correction with absolutely dried out volumes, as you can see on this volume histogram. And then this became the opportune buying chance. So the first alert came on 31st May 22 and the stock became attractive on 23rd September 22. Now, if you're thinking that was a very long monitoring period, remember that the stock went up to give almost 2.6x rally. So if you want to make such multi-bagger returns, you have to have discipline and a system for following up on your stocks. You have to have a system to uh, monitor the stocks where you've seen potential positive signals, right? So for me now, Zydus Life is going to be part of my monitoring system. I have a 5 step process. Monitoring happens to be the second step of the 5 step process, which allows me to take trades, trail, and book profits or losses, do trading basically. Um, I have a program, by the way, since some of you are asking in this in the chat. I have a program in which I teach all of this. It's called the Advanced Swing Trade Training Program. You're welcome to explore it. The best way to get more information about it is simply by visiting my website, which is expinvest.in. So I'm just going to show you my website very quickly. So this is the website. You can go on this website and you can check out the services that are being offered. So you can see swing trade training right here. If you go on this site, you will see everything that is going to be taught in great details, and take it from there. Um, So what else? So when this alert gets triggered, I will start monitoring this, and then we will also take a look at the 75-minute time frame. What the 75-minute time frame is showing. Let's see. So on the 75-minute time frame, I can see there was a clear bull range here. This got violated when 40 got breached. Then here again the stock went into bull range, and here you can see this activity where it has broken the level of 30 and the level of 60, both in the same wave. Okay, now this typically happens when the higher time frame is undergoing a major shift in the momentum. Okay, so that has been established over here, and after that what happened, you see, this is where the RSI created a bottom, and this is where it has now started taking support against price forming lower low. So price is forming lower low, RSI is forming higher low, creating a positive divergence. But even on the 75-minute time frame, I would like the prices to go a little bit more overbought. So typically, if you will see historically, when the bull trend has been very strong, 75-minute time frames RSI has been touching way above the level of 70. So what we want to do is we also want to set up an alert at the level of 70 for Zydus Life RSI 25 period. And in the notes, we will write RSI PD on daily. This is 75 going OB, means overbought. Look for entry on pullback. Okay. So when these set of alerts that I'm setting up get triggered, then I will start looking for criteria to create my long position on a potential pullback. Okay, so this is how you monitor. You basically think about the next 2 steps and you set up alerts in such a way that when the next one step unfolds, you are ready to move on to the second step from there. Okay, so we want to see a higher high on the price. We want to see, so let's recap. Against a positive inclination or against a set of positive evidences that we've noted on the chart, we now want to look for some confirmations. What are these confirmations going to look like? First, a higher high on the price. Second, overbought conditions on the 75-minute time frame. When these conditions get fulfilled, we will look for a pullback to enter the stock. Why will we look for a pullback? Because we've studied the past price action, and we see that the stock has a tendency to give multiple pullbacks when reversing the trend or ending a correction. So it is that pullback that we ideally want to enter in. We also want the volumes to pick up. So these are the three criteria that we want to witness on the charts. So this is all that I had for today. Thank you so much for joining in. I wanted to demonstrate to you my process of technical analysis, and that is what this 100-day series is about. By the way, Zydus Life is the 13th stock in this series that I've covered today. If you're interested in um, let me take you to my YouTube channel. If you're interested in seeing the previous stocks that I have covered, what you can do is you can simply go to my channel And if you go into playlist, there is 100 days of stock analysis playlist that you should be able to see. And over here you will see all the stocks which I have covered, and how they've performed, what were my observations, what were the mistakes that I committed. And this contributes to my learning journey. It will also contribute to your learning journey if you're interested. And if you want to stay with me as if you want to stay with me as I do more videos in this series, then I suggest you join my Telegram channel. In this Telegram channel, you will also come across other uh, information. Like, for example, sometimes I run offers on my swing trading services, swing trading recommendation service, long term recommendation service, when a new training batch is going to get started. I also share my analyst comment time to time with charts and analysis. So all of that can be very helpful to you. Like, for example, the market is currently experiencing strong resistance around the level of 23,900. So this resistance level has been, sorry, 24,200, right? So 23,900 was key resistance that I had mentioned. And stock is now taking, like, the broad market is taking resistance here. My target for the next target, since 23,900 has been breached, next target is 24,800. So if that gets breached, then I expect there's going to be a pullback, which is going to be very good entry opportunity for stocks also, right? So stuff like that. If you're interested in real market insights, then I suggest you go and join my Telegram channel. So you simply have to search this trade with Kavita, right? And I only give equity based recommendations. I don't share any FNO analysis or guidance, because I really don't think retail traders should take that kind of risk and you know expose their capital to leverage. So there is a comment from Rakesh. He's saying, could the momentum that is being seen in the market right now hold for a long time? It is never possible to say whether the momentum is going to hold for a long time or not. Rakesh, it's always better to look at the price action in an objective manner regularly, and then choose your actions for the positions that you have active in the market, whether short term or long term. Always have safeguard in place, always have your stop losses in place, because even if the charts indicate that the momentum is positive and is expected to stay so for a long time, there is no guarantee that it is going to it is not a unchallengeable truth. It is possible that fundamentals or macroeconomic conditions or stocks fundamentals or simply sentiments towards the stock change, leading to massive correction in the market, which you don't want to erode your capital, right? So use stop losses and look at prices objectively. If you're seeing bullish momentum, act on it. Now, the 12th stock which I covered before this was Motilal OFS, and that stock has already done phenomenally this week. It's gone up almost 15%, which is massive, right? A stock going up 15%, especially after there being video proof of the analysis being presented. So there's a lot of learning to be gathered from these analytical points that I'm sharing. And the best part is that these observations that I make are very repeatable. All you need to do is pull yourself away from the biases which hold you back, and practice looking at charts in a very objective manner, in a very investment case kind of an approach, right? So if you want to learn more from me, just stay with me in this series. And if you want to work with me, then visit my website, explore the services that I'm offering, and let's have a conversation. If you're interested, fill up the contact us form, and someone from my team will reach out to you. If you want to have a conversation with me, mention to my team that you would like to connect with me, and they will guide you with that prospect, right? Okay, so this was all that I had for today. I appreciate you taking the time to join me in this live session. I will see you again tomorrow, same time, same place, um, with Market Outlook series, where I will talk about the broad Nifty index, the sectoral indices, the intersector charts, and we will see where is the momentum heading and how our previous week's analysis has done. And of course, I will also bring to you a chart of the day, which is going to contribute towards the 100 days series. So thank you so much for joining in. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day.